There is no arts and culture.
Having been a guide in 3 of the museums here in Singapore, and the museum scene has flourished in recent years, since the 90s really. We're sitting right outside the Asian Civilizations Museum. I would totally dispute that we have wonderful museums here, and we're constantly adding to them. There's some private museums as well. The organisation which I headed, I had the great privilege to head for a couple of years, the Friends of the Museum, now works with, I think it's 9 or 10 different organisations within Singapore. As for the arts generally, the theatre scene has also bloomed in recent years. So we have some excellent theatre here. I could name the Singapore Repertory Theatre, Pandemonium, Wild Rice, all of these theatre companies who are doing fantastic shows. And honestly, the quality of the shows are, I would say, equal to those that I've seen on Broadway and the West End and the like. So yeah, it's a smaller scene. It's nowhere near as developed as it is in, say, New York or London, again, to go back to those 2 examples. But things have moved on a great deal here. And I thoroughly enjoy the theatre here and support it a lot. I've seen excellent shows. Art, yeah, the art scene has expanded too. We now have School of the Arts here, and we have La Salle College. My son went to La Salle College and studied theatre, and he went off to do something else. He's in Amsterdam now doing sound engineering, so that's very different. But you know, the money that's been put by the Singapore government into organisations like those, into schools like those, is encouraging. And there are others. I mean, it's quite a flourishing art scene. Of course, the National Gallery, which is just across the road here, was opened in 2015 to showcase Asian art, particularly Southeast Asian art. And again, the Singapore government has put a huge amount of time and money into taking 2 beautiful old buildings and combining them into one, and adaptively reusing the building for art, fine art.
If you wanna get the most out of Singapore, and let's say arts and culture, what would be the 3 places to go?
Well, the National Gallery for sure, because that is obviously our premier fine art establishment. So that definitely you should go there. And there's a lot of art to see, but it's also architecturally very interesting as a building. The way in which the 2 buildings were combined to create the National Gallery is in itself a fascinating story, right? By Monsieur Milou, the French architect. And so I think that is a must-do. We're just coming up to the Victoria Halls here, as I call them for short. There's the Victoria Concert Hall and the Victoria Theatre.
Yeah.
These are very interesting buildings too. I often bring people here because although they look the same, they were actually built in different periods.
Yeah.
They're about 50 years apart.
Yeah, and this is Sir Raffles over there.
And we have the original statue of Sir Stamford Raffles here. There's a white copy down by the river where more or less he landed, although nobody's quite sure exactly where he landed in 1819.
Yeah.
But yes, this was a statue that was made to commemorate Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee.
Yeah.
Used to sit in the middle of the padang over there, but he got hit by a lot of cricket balls and things, because that's the cricket club just over there. And so they decided they would move him somewhere sort of more salubrious. He was moved here in 1919, and he's been there ever since, and hopefully he'll be there for a long time to come.